Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and truth be told, I don't typically do unboxings on this channel. But the other day, I got a package in the mail, and I posted about it on Instagram and Facebook, and I was kind of surprised at the feedback. There was a lot of people looking at this exact same product, but they were kind of on the fence of whether or not they wanted to go with it or not. So they were specifically asking me if I could do an unboxing. So I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing for them today. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a ballistic helmet from Hardhead Veterans. Now, I'm not affiliated or associated with Hardhead Veterans whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this is an early Father's Day present, so I'm excited to get this whole thing put together here. So if you guys were interested in a Hardhead Veteran helmet and you wanted to know my first impressions or my thoughts and opinions once we take it out of the box, stay tuned. Now, to be honest, when I first got this box, I already opened it up and took a look at the helmet, but when I saw the comments start coming in, I tried to put everything back the way that it originally came. So this is pretty much how it originally came. We're going to open it up here. I'll show you guys exactly what comes in the box, and then we'll put it on the table and I'll give you a much closer look. So it comes in a box that is pretty much the same size as the helmet itself. We'll go ahead and we'll pull this thing out here. On the top of the helmet, they have a little bit of foam to protect the paint because I believe that it's actually a Cerakote color. And then we'll go ahead and we'll pull out the helmet here, take this bag off with that foam layer. On the top of our helmet, we have a bag for the helmet and some more information about your helmet. Set that aside, and again, we're going to take a closer look at all this stuff here in just a second on the table. Also with your helmet, you're going to get a bag like this. This bag contains all of the stuff that you're going to get to size your helmet. So there are small pads in here, or thin pads, and then there's much thicker pads depending on the size of your head. The head measurement is very important, especially when it comes to a helmet like this. And we'll talk about, my head size and kind of how everything fit for me, because I just kind of test fitted it to kind of see how everything went. But here we have the thicker pads and the thinner pads depending on what size is going to fit you best. And then we have our helmet. First impressions on the helmet, again, are really, really nice. Looks like a great helmet. I am happy with the overall design and the way that this thing was put together. So you can see I got the one in multicam. This is, I believe, again, a Cerakoted multicam, and it says multicam on it, so it is an official multicam. We have a lot of hook and loop that goes around the back, hook and loop on the top, and then some hook and loop over the ears. You're going to notice that the arc rail is a little bit different because this one right here is set up for M-Lok. That's actually one of the things that attracted me to this helmet, and I'm kind of hoping it's the way of the future when it comes to helmets, because M-Lok is a very strong attachment, and you can find just about everything for a pick rail or M-Lok attachment. You can always attach a pick rail to this, put a flashlight on it or something like that, and I think it just gives you a lot more options for the future. So again, we have stuff to attach your night vision devices, things for optical devices, and you can also put like your GoPro and stuff like that on the front as well. And then we have the shell for our helmet, which already has some padding in it, but this is sort of like an initial impact resistance padding. It's a little bit more thicker and more dense than the padding that you get for comfort. So your comfort padding and then the initial impact padding is going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and put this thing on the table. I'll give you guys a closer look, but I can tell you right now, this is a really, really nice looking helmet. It's a nice feeling helmet, and the way that they did it is fantastic. Everything just seems pretty high quality, especially for the price. This is definitely a more affordable helmet than you would get for let's say something that costs, like a Team Wendy or something like that. You're going to spend so much more money on. And what I was surprised about is on their website, they actually claim that this has less backface deformation than the OpsCore helmets, similar helmet. So with less backface deformation, that's exactly what I want to know. This is a level 3A helmet. That means that it's rated up to 44 Magnum. So this is rated for pistols. If you're talking about rifle calibers and stuff like that, this is not going to stop those types of calibers. Now, at specific distances, if those rounds slow down, possibly. But if you're talking about, standard distances, it's not going to stop a rifle caliber round. So let's go and put it on the table, take a closer look. Okay, so here's our helmet right here. More specifically, this is the Hardhead Veterans ATE Gen 2 helmet. This one right here came the way that I ordered it. They have several different colors on the website and different types of hook and loop. So you can go with black on black or something like that if you want to, FDE on FDE. My shell is multicam, but anything that will accept an attachment is going to be in flat dark earth. So our hook and loop is in flat dark earth. We have our rail, which is over the ear. This one right here will accept M-Lok, but it's also flat dark earth. And then we have our bungee retention, which is right here. That's also in flat dark earth. And then our mount for night vision and other devices are going to be in flat dark earth as well. And again, this piece right here is also aluminum. So it's got a really nice two-tone to it. It seems to be put together really well. Now let's talk about some of the accessories that come with it when you order yours. Again, we have the first bag right here, which actually contains another bag for your helmet and a little bit more information. So here is the bag that it comes with. You can go ahead and store your helmet inside of this. It's basically just a standard tan bag, but it's good for storage. Then we have a little bit more information about your helmet care and so forth. They actually have a YouTube channel where it'll show you exactly how to fit it, how to install your pads, and everything else. Now, in this bag right here, we have all of the padding. Now, sizing is really important because this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all deal. You want to measure your head and you want to measure it correctly, because my head is 23.5 inches in diameter. And that means that when it comes to this helmet right here, I'm right in between sizes. So it goes from like 21 to 23.5 inches, and then from 23.5 inches to, 26 inches or whatever it is. But it says on their website that if you're going to be fitting, you want the right fit for your head and you're right in between sizes, it says to go the size up. Now, I just did a test fit of the larger pads, and it's definitely a little bit big. It's not as snug as I would like it to be, but it's pretty damn close, and it fits fine. So when you put the retention or the chin strap on, it holds everything good to go. So I'm perfectly fine with that, but I'm right in between sizes. So for anybody on the cusp, if you're in that 23.5 to maybe 23 3/4, I would definitely go with the large, extra large. Otherwise, go with something a little bit smaller. So here again is the inserts for the helmet. You can see that we have one side, it's a little bit softer, and then we have another side right here. Kind of feels like a really squishy, almost like a neoprene material. Definitely looks and feels like it is well made. One thing I like about this one, and one of the other reasons I decided to go with this helmet right here, is the fact that you can use accessories, pads, and stuff like that from so many other good and nice helmets. So OpsCore, Team Wendy, and so forth, they have an entire list of compatibility or items that are compatible with this helmet right here. So we have our different pads and different pad sizes. Let me go ahead and take out the thinner ones so that I can show you the difference here. So here is a thin pad, okay? That's what the thinner pad looks like. So if you have a large head and it kind of feels a little bit too tight with the thicker ones, you can go ahead and put on a thin one. Hopefully you guys can see that there. But that's the difference between the thin and the thick pad. The thick pad is quite a bit more thick than the thinner one. So it does add a lot more comfort, but it does close up a lot of that space that's on the inside right there. Now, with each of these pad systems, you get these little dots right here, and one side has an adhesive, the other side has kind of like this attachment hook and loop type material. We'll open this up so you guys can take a quicker look at it here. But this is what attaches to the pad. So one side attaches to the helmet, one side attaches to the pad, and that's how you go ahead and you put your pads in. And obviously, because you have the hook and loop on here, it is completely replaceable with other systems and setups. That also means that if you have a shell cover, if you have a helmet cover that you want to put on this, they're going to be compatible with other helmets as well. So you get two sets of these with your different pad levels. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip this thing over so I can show you guys the retention system here. Now, the retention system is actually something that kind of surprised me. I've never seen anything like this before myself personally. But the retention system is actually magnetic. So what you do is you simply take the retention strap, it goes in there, it's magnetic, and it does not come off. I mean, shockingly, that thing is completely stuck in there. Completely stuck. But if you want to take it off, you grab this little black tab right here, you pull on it, and it just comes right off. I mean, that's all there is to it. And this thing's been highly tested. These guys are veterans that own and run the company, and so they know exactly what they're talking about. They know what they wore, they know what they want to wear. And so, I mean, even though I haven't had a chance to actually review it and use this yet, it still seems like a pretty interesting system. This little latch right here, when it locks in with the magnet, actually goes underneath this other little piece. So it's in there fairly well. This thing's it's as stuck gets. But again, you pull on it and it comes right out. There's no quick dial or anything like that, nothing on the back where you can make your quick adjustments. You want to make your fine adjustments and then have it set up just like that. So something to keep in mind there depending on what attachment system you want. So here is the initial ballistic padding. Okay, so if you're going to be taking a hit, you're going to get a lot of shock absorption from this. I've tested helmets in the past and I've shot helmets in the past, and you're going to end up with some back face deformation, definitely, especially depending on the caliber. That deformation is going to come inside the helmet and you basically want something that's going to absorb all that shock right away. So having these pads right here, it allows that to absorb the shock instead of your head, and that absorbing the shock goes into the padding, and hopefully by the time that, you know, shock reverberates into your head, it's a lot less than it typically would have been. So I do like it. It's a really nice kind of heavy duty feeling. You know, it almost feels like a gel padding. It's really hard to tell exactly what it is, but it feels like a gel padding. And this has really nice pads. I've reviewed helmets in the past that cost a little bit less money in the $300 range. And in the $300 range, it's just a really little bit of padding front and back, a little bit of padding on the sides and so forth. And that's it. This thing has a full and complete padded system, so it is really, really nice. Again, the retention and the way that you would adjust these, all very easy, and they have videos on their website that will help you do it. And then you can see the inner portion of our shell right there, which looks to be some type of woven fiber, you know, Kevlar, nylon Kevlar material or something like that. So you can see the material on the inside, again rated at level 3A, and this has been rated by the NIJ to be level 3A. Level 3A testing, basically what they do is they test all sides of the helmet. They test the front and back, both the sides. They test it for back face deformation, penetration, and stuff like that. It's actually pretty rigorous testing, and it's all done in a lab, and then it you know, the information gets sent out. Now, it's kind of an expensive test, so not all companies do it. So knowing that this has NIJ level testing on it definitely should give you some peace of mind knowing that you're getting a helmet that is good. This is actually made of a 3M DuPont Kevlar material here, so you know that it's US material, and it's a really well-made material. I trust 3M products definitely. Now, as far as wearability goes, obviously I can't tell you guys that yet because I am not sure, but it feels pretty nice so far, just kind of testing the fitment out and seeing how everything was. It seems like it's going to fit pretty nice, and you know, it should wear pretty well. This thing is surprisingly light. As a matter of fact, this is much lighter than other ballistic helmets within this same price category right here. It's just under 3 pounds. So it's, you know, something that you could wear if you're going to be wearing it sort of long term, and it's not going to wear you out like you know, other types of helmets or full-size helmet might. Having these high-cut helmets definitely saves you a lot of weight. Now, this helmet should fit pretty well in helmet carriers as well. This is one that I have from Agilite. As a matter of fact, I've been working on a review for this for the past 3 months or so, and right now it just has an inexpensive bump helmet in it. If you guys don't know what a bump helmet is, it's basically like a glorified bike helmet, but it protects your heads from bumps and hitting walls or hitting the ground, whatever the case is. So a bump helmet is definitely something worth having. So I have my bump helmet in there right now. This Agilite gear is great. This is actually attached to my plate carrier, which has Defender Armor level 4 plates in it. So this would be my setup. You go ahead and you put your helmet in there, you lock this thing in, and it's good to go. So I'm definitely happy with this setup right here. Anyway, if you guys are interested, check out Hardhead Veterans. It seems like a pretty cool company. Seems like pretty cool guys as well. I've only talked to their customer service, but their customer service was pretty polite. Anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.